Hello, welcome to Rep Sports. This is Ishan Shahani, your host. I'm joined with Abhidip Deshmukh and Buria Mujumdar. First of all, a very happy Independence Day to everyone out here. I hope everyone's doing well. I hope everyone's safe at home. And I hope everyone's enjoying this day. The Paralympics is round the corner. A lot can be expected out of it. So obviously, we at Rep Sports want to bring it out first to you. We want to go on and try and build this up as soon as possible. So this is the whole purpose of this show. Boreda, obviously, there's still a couple of weeks left for the Paralympics, but let's build this up here. No one better than you to speak about this initially, just to give our audience an idea of what they can expect, your thoughts. So why don't you get started, and then I'll go to Abhijit.
First things first, Ishan, you mentioned a happy Independence Day to everyone. I wish the same. I wish I could say the same about my city. This is
Hmm.
not a political show,
Yeah.
but as a parent, I have to say I'm worried. So I just want to put that on record that this is not a very happy Independence Day for us in Kolkata, at least, and
Yeah.
not in India, because what we are seeing around us leaves us with a lot of despair, gloom, and sadness that we seem to have failed ourselves to see what's going on in my city and to see my daughter growing up and to think
True.
that you know I don't think that I will have the courage to say that she's safe leaves me very disappointed and sad.
Yeah.
Coming to the question that you asked me, this is not a political show, so that's where I will leave this. All I will say is it's tough,
It is. Yeah.
and I do hope that there is justice. There has to be justice. As a civil society, there has to be justice. Coming to the Paralympics, absolutely right, Shan.
Yeah.
The point about Paralympics is it's a fundamental point, and the fundamental point is this: कि देखिए अगर हम ओलंपिक सपोर्ट करते हैं, क्रिकेट सपोर्ट करते हैं, फुटबॉल सपोर्ट करते हैं, अगर हम पैरालंपिक्स नहीं सपोर्ट करते, सो वी फेल आवरसेल्व्स एज अ सोसाइटी.
Hmm.
एक लार्जर पॉइंट, आई मीन इट इज नॉट अबाउट, ये स्पोर्ट नहीं है, ये खाली स्पोर्ट नहीं है कि आप जाके एक वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड देखकर आ गए. वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड भी होगा, वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड भी होगा, बट अगर आप पैरालंपिक एथलीट्स का संघर्ष को सपोर्ट नहीं कर पाते हैं, अगर आप इनका सपोर्ट, इनका ये जो चैलेंजिंग जर्नीज है आप इनको सेलिब्रेट नहीं कर पाते हैं, देन वी फेल आवरसेल्व्स एज अ सोसाइटी, शान एंड अभिजीत. एंड ये
Yeah.
पॉइंट सिंपथी का नहीं है, ये पॉइंट एम्पथी का है. अगर
बिल्कुल.
आप इनको सिंपथी दोगे तो ये आपको इमीडिएटली कह देंगे, जैसे मानसी जोशी हर समय कहते हैं कि हमें सिंपथी का जरूरत नहीं है.
बिल्कुल.
नहीं है, 1% भी नहीं है. अगर हमको आप सपोर्ट करना चाहते हो तो आप एम्पथी दो, हमें एथलीट जैसे ट्रीट करो, हम भी एथलीट ही है. हमें सिंपथी मत जताओ. डोंट कम एंड शो अस योर सिंपथी एंड से अरे please help. No,
Mhm.
treat us as exactly the way you would have treated an able-bodied athlete.
Absolutely.
So when you watch a Neeraj Chopra and celebrate a Neeraj Chopra, or when you watch an Abhinav Bindra and celebrate an Abhinav Bindra, celebrate Sumit until the same way.
Yeah.
Celebrate Sumit until the exact same way like you would have celebrated a Neeraj Chopra. When you watch an Avani Lekhara, celebrate an Avani Lekhara in the same manner as you would celebrate and have celebrated today also at
Mhm.
in Red Fort, Amanu Bhakar. Exactly the way you've celebrated a PR Srijesh, Harmanpreet Singh, Swapnil Kusale, and Aman Sherawat, kindly celebrate exactly the same manner a Manasi Joshi, a Yogesh Kathunia, a Shailesh Kumar, and the rest of the contingent. So my point is fundamental here, that if you support Olympic sport, if you support activities as a society, I think it is of paramount importance that India
Absolutely.
supports the Paralympics. And you know what, Ishan? You will see this. If I do a show on Anwar Ali, I will get enormous number of views. I will
Yeah.
get people asking me 1 million questions. If I do a show on Paralympics, you will see hardly few questions come. It is a
Yeah.
reflection of who we are. Yes, same people will wake up the moment the medal comes. And it is very natural because the moment the medal comes, the prime minister will get in, the political class will get in, there will be social media. X has won a medal. आप उसके पहले जाके पूछो ये है कौन, योगेश काठुनिया कौन है, आपको पता ही नहीं लगेगा कि भाई ये है कौन. मानसी जोशी कौन है, हाँ लोग आपको बोलेंगे कि ये तो टाइम मैगजीन के कवर में आई थी, बट मानसी जोशी स्ट्रगल, सुमित अंटिल स्ट्रगल, शैलेश कुमार स्ट्रगल, रवि रोंगाली स्ट्रगल, you will not hear anyone. I mean, Pramod Bhagat not playing, a serious medal gone. How
Hmm.
much social media attraction has that story got? So for me, this is a much more fundamental story than anything else, and I think far more important than many other cricket stories or other stories that we have done. Yes, Abhijit.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Boria.
Uh,
That was very well said. Yes, yes, Abhida.
yeah, first of all, happy independence to everyone, to all our viewers as well. See, Paralympics is something, and I would like to appreciate Buriada because not every house is covering Paralympics that much. And we'll be having our four people there covering. And even at the Trailblazers, Buriada has, always supported, and, they've always, Mansi Joshi was there. Pramod Bhagat was there, Suhas Yathiraj was there. So it's so good to see Bureda and Rev Sports is not only focused only on cricket, Olympic sports, but also on the Paralympics. That's the most important thing. Ishan, at Tokyo Olympics, we had about 54 Paralympians, and we won 19 medals. This time we have 84. So imagine how strong we will be. um, and of course, Avni Lekhara is there, Sumit Antil is there, then Suhas Ethiraj is there. So I think it looks looking good for overall, and Boleda and I were there, and we kind of get a feeling like how good it will be for Paralympians to be here, and then I'm sure there will be raining of medals. I'm
Yeah.
sure I think 25 is par for me at the moment. 25 will be par for me. The way Indian athletes have performed, not only at last Olympics, you see at Asian Games, you see at even the Commonwealth Games, and it's not that I've been watching like how Suhas Yathiraj is also playing at the several other international tournament and how incredible he has been. Not to forget, he is an IS officer as well. But
Yeah.
Bodhida mentioned a very good point. Like people don't follow Paralympics. They follow only when the medal comes. And I'm sure like not everyone knows the name of all the Paralympian athletes that won medal at the Tokyo Olympics. I think first of all, many of people don't know who is Murlikant Petkar. Even after the movie Chandu Champion has been released, people don't know. People they don't know which sport he has won. He's the first Indian Paralympian to win a medal. I think he is as great as Abhinav Bindra. He's as great as Neeraj Chopra, and then many other athletes. And we talk about a society where equality is important. So Paralympian athletes are also important, and I really like to appreciate the Indian government as well, which has given the Khel Ratna award to the Paralympian athlete that has won medal at the Rio Olympics, at the Tokyo Olympics. That is one good thing I've seen, and I like to appreciate the government that has done it because they have considered the athletes that have won a medal at the Olympics and at the Paralympics as well. So that's a good thing. And then we as Rev Sports, we are there for every athlete. For be it in Olympics or Paralympics, we're always there for you. And I'm sure Trisha and Rohan are still there in France, and I think we'll probably be the only Indian media that will be covering Paralympics and
Fantastic.
bringing
It's
all
just
the great coverage.
yes. Thank you, Abhijita, for that. I hope you're feeling a little bit jealous that the four of them are still there, because that's what I felt when all of you all were at the Olympics. But we're going to continue.
Uh,
Boryada, I have two questions for you. We'll continue. We'll continue. Boryada, I have two questions for you. One is, should we talk about medals right now? Are we going to put those expectations on our athletes? Should we discuss that right now? And the second question is coming back to that first point. Why is it that the Indian audience is not appreciating our Paralympic athletes as much? Like, what is the case of this? Is it a lack of education?
I think both very pertinent questions, Ishan. The answer to your first question, medals will always be important because the moment you start winning medals, people then start to take notice of you. That is how it is. So, for example, today if you go and ask people in the country who Deepa Malik is, they know who Deepa Malik is and why, because she won the first medal as a woman in Rio with that throw of 4.61
Yeah.
meters. So Deepa Malik is a household name. If you go and ask people who Devendra Jhajaria is, people will know. Acha, Devendra Jhajaria, twice Olympic gold medalist, Paralympic gold medalist, also a silver in Tokyo. They know about Devendra Jhajaria, and it is because of medals. It is because of medals. Because Suhas Yathiraj is, how many people know Suhas Yathiraj, the IS officer? Many more people know Suhas Yathiraj, the badminton player. So medals are very very significant. What Abhijit said, 25 is my bottom line. There's Trisha from
Trisha
Paris
from
as well.
Paris.
Yeah, these two fellows apparently are doing a cooking expedition today, Brohan and Trisha. So
Oh, wow.
they are cooking in their apartment in Paris. So wonderful. But yes, I mean, coming back to the answer, I think medals are important, and I'm on record in the past also saying this. 25 to 30 medals is what I predict. I think 25 to 30 medals is extremely realistic, and you will get that. 25 to 30 medals, very, very realistic. And one thing for certain, you will get gold medals.
Yeah.
So I'm, for example, predicting a world record winning effort and a gold medal from Sumit Antil. You will. In Tokyo, within 45 minutes, he broke his own world record 3 times. I remember Deepa calling me, and it was around 1:30 in the afternoon, and she was screaming on the phone, "Dubara tod diya, Dubara tod diya." I said, "Kya bol rahe ho aap?" Because I was watching, and Dubara tod diya, because it takes about 10 seconds lag, right, between television broadcast and. So she was in the stadium, and she's shouting, saying, "Dubara tod diya." So Sumit Antil broke his world record 3 times. It is incredible. If you see in the javelin for able-bodied, I think Trisha made this point, or Abhijit made this point to me, that some of the throwers were throwing 75, 76 in the qualification.
Yep.
Sumit Antil just land up throwing 75.
That-
Sumit Antil
He can
might
actually
just
compete.
and
He can, why not? Yeah.
boss, it is unbelievable. And if you don't celebrate them, now your second question, Ishan, before you go to Trisha, as to why we don't, I think it is the fault of the media. It is not the fault of the people. It is our fault.
Lack of
And
promotion.
including my own. I have covered 5 Olympic Games. How many Paralympic Games have I covered from on ground? None. I covered Tokyo big time, but sitting in India. It was COVID times, it was tough, I agree. But I covered Tokyo sitting in India.
Yeah.
And I think that's where Rev Sports becomes important, because when you're part of an organization, you don't take calls. The fortunate thing about Rev Sports is we can take calls, it's our own. And you can say, okay, I'll put in budgets, we can put in money. And in Tokyo, when everybody started pushing, that is when people woke up. 54 athletes, 19 medals. I'll tell you a story. Trisha knows this story actually. So they had made 15 gold chains. The Paralympic Committee of India had made 15 gold chains. You know why? Because they thought 15 medal आएगा in Tokyo. 19 medal आ गया. तो उनको दोबारा ओवरनाइट 4 और गोल्ड चेन बनाने पड़े. आप दीपा मलिक से पूछो, वो आपको बता देंगी. So they had to make 15 gold chains, had to become 19 gold chains. And it was brilliant. All of a sudden, the whole country got behind. You know what happened on day one? Sorry, I just get a little emotional when I talk about our sport. So Bhavina Patel wins the medal on day one. So I call, and by the way, now Bhavina's husband is a very close friend of both Trisha and mine. So Nikunj was on the line with us, and Nikunj is telling me, बोलिया जी, I said, हाँ, भाविना का एक ही लाइफ का मिशन है, आप कर सकते हो क्या? So I said, क्या? said, भाविना को सचिन पाजी से बात करना है. And this is 2 hours after winning a medal. So I said, Sachin Tendulkar से. He said, हाँ, भाविना को आप एक बार बात करा सकते हैं क्या? So on one line was Bhavina. From another phone, I called Sachin. And I said, Sachin, Bhavina, who's just won a silver in table tennis, wants to talk to you. Will you talk to her once? Sachin, being Sachin, obviously said yes. And I patched the two of them on a con call. You should have seen the way Bhavina was talking. Her day was made. And Sachin inspired her big time. How do you forget these moments? Yeah? I mean, Paralympics is extraordinary. And Trisha and Rohan will be part of the build-up, and I will join them in a week. Fantastic stuff.
Absolutely. Thank you for that, Boryada. We got Trisha from Paris. Trisha, welcome to the show. First of all, we're discussing the Paralympics. It's still a couple of weeks away, but we would like to know your thoughts and opinions as well. So just tell us what you feel, what are your initial thoughts, what are you expecting, and we'll get into this deeper. And before that, Trisha, let's just take this super chat as well. I think it's important to get a woman's perspective. Boryada already answered this. It's not a political show. Nobat Tibet. Rigzin, thank you, brother, for this question. I hope you're doing well. Happy Independence Day. I'm sorry to see what's been happening in the city. I hope things get normalized and we get justice for the victim's family. I think it's important to get a woman's perspective as well. And as you're a part of the show, we can possibly answer this and then move on to our question.
I can only hope that this brings in a few. Look, Ishan, I think I was telling Rohan, until and unless mindset change,
Yeah.
it's very difficult to change a lot of things. Honestly, as a woman, I'm just hoping that people see women differently, people understand women differently, and people think of women differently.
Yes.
Because as a woman journalist, to be honest, a few days ago, I think I had this discussion with Boryada where I said that, most men, the problem in sports journalism too is if a man says something that's taken very seriously, but when a woman gives her opinion, even about a sport that probably that woman has played for a decade or more, and then is commenting on, the answer directly is, oh, listen, as a guy who knows the sport. So that happens. I think the whole mentality shift has to happen, and once that happens,
Yeah.
all of us will feel safe, men,
Thank you,
women.
Vishal. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for that.
I'll
And
answer that
we can
question,
answer the
Ishan. I'll
parallel.
answer that question. I know this is
Yeah.
not a political show, but like I said, it is not a women's movement or a men's movement. It is a collective failure of us as a society. And now it is coming to light. And by the way, none of us know this. We are not investigative journalists here or political journalists. That we are being told that even women were involved. Where are we going? Trisha's a woman. I have a 10-year-old daughter. When my daughter today, I was asking me over breakfast, so what has happened? What do I tell her? And when you ask a normal kid in Calcutta, I'm sure it has happened in Trisha's house. What do you want to be? And the first answer is a doctor or an engineer. That's the first answer in a Bengali household. And my first thought was, no, no, don't tell me you want to become a doctor. And I bit my lip and I was like, what am I saying here? Obviously, at 10, 11, Aisha doesn't still know much.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
when you think that 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years down the line, when she decides what she wants to do, where are we headed? So the question that was put by Nomad Tibet is spot on. My 76-year-old mother yesterday night said she couldn't sleep. I said, why? She said at 1 a.m. in the morning, there was a procession going in front of our house, and it was that same procession that got attacked at 3 a.m. My mother couldn't sleep. She said, by the way, she's not well. Trisha knows. She's got some ailments. She said, will you allow me to go and join a protest procession? She's 76. And she said she wants to go alone. What do? All you do is you say, we are a failed society.
Yeah.
I hope the police, the powers that be, sense prevails, justice prevails, we get it right. I hope the perpetrators are caught and not swept under the carpet. I hope,
Absolutely.
I also hope that we, and here I say we, each one of us, we don't move to another issue.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever we do Paralympics,
We
it's
do.
our job. We do sport, it is our job. Rev Sports is a sports platform. But we also do this because this is our responsibility as a citizen. We don't let this issue die down with another issue that comes tomorrow. So that's all I will say. All I will say. Uh, Having said that, and exactly what I told you all, right? Look how many people are watching. Hardly, when I was doing Anwar Ali, 1700 concurrent viewers this morning. Paralympics, who the hell cares? This is a problem. But the same people, I bet you, the moment Avani wins a gold, Sumit wins a gold, Manasi wins a gold, somebody wins a gold in Paris, trust you me, they will all jump in and say, interview chahiye, ye chahiye, aapka ek
Yes.
comment de do, ek वगैरह कर दो. And Mansi says it beautifully. हमें sympathy क्यों दे रहे हो? पैसा दो ना. Sponsorship
Correct.
दो.
Correct.
क्यों नहीं दोगे? अगर आप नीरज चोपड़ा को करोड़ों दे सकते हो, एंडोर्समेंट दे सकते हो, तो सुमित अंटिल को क्यों नहीं दोगे? दो ना. मैं तो बोल रहा हूं, अगर कोई कॉर्पोरेट को ऐड सुमित अंटिल को पास रखकर करे, एबल बॉडीड वर्ल्ड चैंपियन, पैरालंपिक वर्ल्ड चैंपियन एक साथ करे, imagine what kind of a message that will send society. That is what we want to do at Rev Sports. Now, I also know it is not easy for Trisha, Rohan, me, X, Y, Z, all of us there. It won't be. We are not a plush company. We are a startup. For us to spend lakhs of rupees, it is not easy. but there is also a responsibility that we have towards our sport to create a legacy. That's what we are trying to do.
Yeah. Thank you, Boria. I think that could not have been put better.
Also,
Trisha,
you know what,
let's.
Ishan, it's interesting that when we win, and this is something Rohan and I were discussing. Now people are saying that why stay for Paralympics? Why care about Paralympics? I'll take with this comment, but something that struck my mind, that when we win about 20, 25, 30 medals from Paralympics, this will be used to actually troll the Olympians, saying that, you know what, Olympics had
Yeah.
the bigger contingent, we got less medals, but Paralympics had lesser contingent, we got more medals.
Yeah.
Ultimately, we are not supporting the sports. We are not supporting the sports persons. We are just supporting things that we think is convenient, and we put our frustration on the sports people regarding that.
It's a
You know?
cycle which is not ending, basically. You're just
Yeah, it's
putting
a
the
vicious
blame.
cycle. It's a vicious cycle.
Absolutely.
Uh,
Trisha, anyway, what are your initial thoughts of the Paralympics, the athletes that you are keen to watch out for, and without putting too much pressure, the amount of medals that you'll be expecting, and without jinxing anything, most importantly.
Yeah, I think I have a figure in mind, but I will just reduce the number and say, because I don't want to jinx it. 25, 25 is bare minimum that I expect. And athletes that I'm looking forward to. I think I'm looking forward to Shailesh Kumar, because he is fantastic. In fact, Rohan has spoken to him, and we'll have the interview soon. Obviously, as Boria said, Avni Lekhara, she's fantastic. And Suma ma'am is always praising her. So yeah, Avni Lekhara for sure. Bhavina Patel, you can't not expect her to do well. Um, Mostly, I'm looking forward to every single. I'm eager to watch Paralympics coverage in Rev Sports. Yes, Pavan,
Yep.
we will be following every single event. Probably, are we the only ones, Boria, who are staying back? Because most people are going back after the winners.
I think Geo Cinema will stream it. I think Geo Cinema will stream it, and
Yeah.
I think Geo Cinema will stream it, and Doordarshan will also stream it. But in terms of news organizations, I did not speak to anyone who said, I'm sure people will do it from India, because the moment the Prime Minister starts talking to one
yeah.
athlete and celebrates one athlete, everybody will wake up and say, hello. Now the editors will wake up and say, अरे interview जल्दी से लाओ. ये हमारे साथ भी होता था. Trisha knows, and during Tokyo, so everybody will wake up there. But I don't think people will think कि, tell me something. You can send a correspondent to Sri Lanka for a series which is of zero importance
Yes.
because Gautam was coach. You can send someone to Zimbabwe for a series where not even your A team went. And you don't want to send a correspondent to the Paralympics? Boss, what are we talking about, boss? I mean, what are we talking? We want to be a multi-sporting country? We celebrate our sport? You will see how many Indian journalists travel to Australia for a bilateral series. 50. 50. Yeah, we will also go. We'll send a 6, 7, 8 member team. Chalo, done. But we will also send a 6, 7, 8 member team to an Olympic Games and Paralympic Games. Why don't you do that? Then only there will be. I mean, you report these stories. Trisha said some few names. I will throw a couple of my 3 names into the mix. Suhas Yatiraj,
Yes.
absolute champion. One of my dearest friends. Suhas Yatiraj is a champ. He and I will take him to that same kebab place, Trisha, after he wins, where we used to go next to Port Bella Chapelle. Banasi Joshi, absolute champion of our
Awesome.
sport.
Awesome.
Manasi missed it in Tokyo. Manasi was not there in Tokyo, and I know what she went through. Gaurav Khanna, who's a dear friend of ours. Gaurav तो कुछ भी उनके साथ तो कुछ भी celebrate करेंगे after the team wins. Gopi's equivalent, and of course Sumit Antil and Yogesh Kathunia, both friends. Sumit तो world record करेगा ही करेगा. सुमित एक अलग लीग में है, एंड
Sumit,
मुझे राष्ट्रगान सुनना है पेरिस में, वो मैंने नहीं सुना. वो ट्राइकलर जाएगा, वो राष्ट्रगान सुनेंगे in a packed Stade de France.
that's the most
मुझे लगता
important
है
thing Bodhya, you said.
बोरिया था, मुझे लगता है कई बार सुनने को मिलेगा, सिर्फ एक बार नहीं.
Definitely.
बहुत बार, absolutely. Abhijita, why don't you tell us some of the athletes that you're looking out for?
See, to be honest, it's unfortunate that I won't be going because, okay, don't want to tell the reason, but I have started my, all the things from right now, and my info for Paralympics has not started. So it's going to be back
Hmm.
on 23rd of August because I was, going to start everything from the back end. So unfortunately, the my info where all you get all the details of all the athletes from all the countries. That unfortunately will be back on 23rd of August. It was working till last night, but I guess they have taken a bit. But I think you know you see some sports where India was not qualified for the Olympics. Paracanoeing, India qualified for that. In powerlifting, in taekwondo also we have this kind of athlete representing India at Paralympics. It's wonderful, and I think my biggest is always Bhavina Patel. I think the way she has won the medal. I think she won medal at the Commonwealth Games as well. Apart from the Tokyo Olympics, she won at the Asian Games as well. And again here, she's not going to participate in the singles, also in the women's doubles as well. So I think it's so good to see our athletes, participating in other events. Suhas Esiraj is also going to participate in singles and the mixed doubles. And the beauty about the sports is that, and especially with the Paralympics, you get to know such wonderful stories how they have come up. And there are so many movies made up. I remember there's a movie called Remember the Titans. It's on American football. A team from a college team, they wins the final, and then just before the final match, their captain gets into an accident, and he's on the bed, and the whole team comes to him, and what he tells them is, what, I might have lost the legs, but you know what, they also have Paralympics. So I think all these things, it just gives you so much of emotions. And then I think Paralympians will be, it's such a great for us to see the heroes of our country that has teaching us the life.
Before I forget, Trisha and I made a vow that on the last day of archery that we will not go to that Valide arena, because we would go and we would come back heartbroken. We would turn up every day for Dhiraj, for Deepika, for Ankita, for that mixed team, for the men's team. We would turn up, and we would get off the metro station of Valide and walk to that venue and say today is our day. And sadly, it wouldn't happen. Here, both of us will turn up again. We will take Rohan, we will take Shormishta with us and watch Sheetal Devi.
Yes.
Sheetal Devi winning a medal for India in that Paralympic Games will be the moment. A 17-year-old as a symbol of empowerment, what Sheetal Devi stands for. When she wins that medal against a world field, imagine what that can do to the Indian campaign. So we will 100% go to archery to watch Sheetal Devi.
That's going to be
For
big.
for all viewers who don't know who is Sheetal Devi, this is the one. This is Sheetal Devi. And 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 then we are like normal people. We think it's many Borita, how many people we were trolling Deepika Kumari when she didn't want a medal. Imagine about Sheetal Devi. I mean, just to give her heart out in this. I don't have words to say when I saw Sheetal Devi for the first time, and then to see at the Paralympics, it will be something. I'm sure all of us will feel so proud to see Sheetal Devi at the Paralympics.
No, you're right,
Unbelievable.
Abhijit.
Just 17 years old and representing India at the Paralympics.
Absolutely. I think
Simply,
yeah, absolutely, Abhijit. I think it's a source of inspiration, and you're bang on with all the points you made. Buryada, there's some questions about Pramod Bhagat here. What's the story behind him? What's happening? I think it would be great if you could, share some details on what's been happening with him at the moment, and
Just a second,
what.
Ishan. If you guys do not mind, then uh, rice and potato and fried eggs are waiting.
Please,
And Rohan and I both are hungry.
please.
He's not eating because I'm
Yeah,
here sitting live. I would just like to go and have my lunch. Okay, guys.
enjoy, enjoy.
enjoy.
Thank you for joining. Bye.
Thank you.
Say hi to Rohan from our side.
Yeah.
You're
You're on
on
mute.
mute. Guru.
Coming to the Pramod Bhagat point, it is a simple case of 3 whereabouts clauses missed. It is a case of doping. 3 whereabouts clauses missed. Pramod protested against that on the 29th of Jan or Feb. Sorry, yeah, something like that. And the verdict eventually came on 29th of July, which is when it was finalized that he's got an 18-month ban. Pramod is a world champion athlete, very dear friend of mine. But it's a whereabouts clause is a sacrosanct clause. If you are an athlete, you have to give your whereabouts details to WADA, because if you miss 3 whereabouts clauses, there is no other option for you but to get banned. So that is what, and Abhijit knows, we were actually having lunch one day at Omega House when we were sent the final list of Paralympic athletes. Eventually, now the list has been pruned to 84. On that day, it was 87. So I spoke to Rupinder, who's the CEO of Paralympic India, and I said, is Pramod participating or not? And that is when we were first told that no, Pramod is finally not participating, and there was clarity uh, on that day. We put out the list, but because the WADA decision was not public yet, we did not put out the Pramod story. But we knew about it. We knew about
Yeah.
it 5-6 days back. I hope Pramod comes back stronger once he serves this, because he will have to serve this. Yes, he might go in for appeal. He did appeal, but it was turned down. I think he will have to serve this 18-month period, Ishan, and then we'll have to
Yeah.
make a comeback. So that's the long and short of the Pramod Bhagat story. Pramod was part of our conclave in year one, part of our conclave in
Yes.
year two.
Yes.
As you know, you were part of the conclave yourself, and an able athlete. So there is one medal that is gone. Let's put it on record. Could be two,
Yes.
because Pramod and Manoj Sarkar could have combined for a doubles medal also. So
Yep.
2 medals down the drain there because Pramod Bhagat is not participating. And that is why I told you 25 to 30, because I had pegged it at 30 with these 2 medals.
Mm.
So I would have gone to 30 straight away. I said 25 to 30 because 2 medals are sort of sacrificed because Pramod Bhagat will not be there. That's a bit disappointing if you are an Indian analyst and fan. But then one hopes that the contingent that is going is a stellar contingent. Stellar, absolutely stellar.
Absolutely.
With Devendra as president, you have all the facilities. You now have companies like Shrachi, who are our sponsors also, who are putting in money into the movement. You will see, you will see a lot of corporates backing this team. In fact, tomorrow, Gargi Raut, who's celebrating her birthday today. By the way, Gargi, happy birthday from all of us.
Happy
Gargi will
birthday,
cover
guys.
the send-off in Delhi. Gargi will cover the send off in Delhi. And from my side, एक और story, फिर आप और अभिजीत बात बोल के खत्म करो. 2004 में, अभी तो कल आप जब सेंड ऑफ होगा, देखो आज तो प्राइम मिनिस्टर लाल किले से उनका स्पीच में भी पैरालंपिक्स के बारे में उन्होंने जिक्र किया है, दैट द होल कंट्री विल गेट बिहाइंड द पैरालंपिक कंटिंजेंट. प्राइम मिनिस्टर मोदी spoke about it. Sports minister will speak about it. The prime minister spoke about it. The Sports Authority of India. Everybody will now be part of the send off because there is a clear plan, and the government of India backs the Paralympic contingent. 2004 में, when Devendra Jhajaria was leaving for the Athens Paralympics, there was one person accompanying him to the airport, one, and that was Devendra's father. When he went there, Devendra's father told him, अगर तू जीतेगा तो बदलाव आएगा, अगर तू नहीं जीतेगा तो कुछ नहीं होने वाला. Devendra had a 300 rupee spike and a 400 rupee javelin. 300 रुपए का स्पाइक और 400 रुपए का javelin. Devendra promised his father that मैं जरूर जीतूंगा क्योंकि मुझे बदलाव लाना है. Devendra won gold. The next year, Paralympic Committee of India was given recognition for the first time. And when he was there in Athens, Ishan, he saw the Chinese exercise with what is a TheraBand. All of us now know, right? You are a exercise freak. Devendra had never seen a TheraBand. Devendra did not even know what a TheraBand was. He had no sports science team, no physio, no scientist. He went to a Chinese athlete and asked, "Bhai, ye hai kya? What is this?" And they told him it is a TheraBand, it exercise for the shoulder. So Devendra tells me, "Sir, मैं तो किसान का बेटा था, वापस आया, एक कुल्हाड़ी लिया, पेड़ काटना शुरू किया. मैं 500 बार दिन में पेड़ काटता था, मेरा शोल्डर का एक्सरसाइज होता था, वो TheraBand का काम होता था. नेक्स्ट ईयर में वो एथेंस में जाके तो गोल्ड जीत गया, उसके बाद तो सब इतिहास है. It is this story, you know, these are the kind of stories that our Paralympic athletes have gone through. It is unbelievable, Isha, absolutely unbelievable.
I
Absolutely.
think
Thank you so much.
even the story of Deepa Malik Bugeda before she was going to the surgery. Bugeda, you tell the story of Deepa Malik, please, because she spoke to you about how um, it was for her, and then before she was the last walk she took.
1999, Ishan, Deepa had a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old, if I remember from memory. And Deepa would get pain in her spinal cord. Now, for some reason, I don't know why, but her in-laws said, "Haldi or doodh pee lo, theek ho jaoge, ye sab ho jayega," etc. When Deepa went to the hospital, and this was the I think the Army Command Hospital in Delhi, and they said to her that your spinal cord is like this string. So you have two options before you. One, to die, and the second, to get yourself operated. And we can't promise you that you will live. We can tell you that we will try and operate on you, and if you live, then you'll have to live the life of a paralyzed. So Deepa comes out, a young woman, beautiful woman. She used to ride by the way, that Royal Enfield Bullet. So you
Yeah.
can understand what kind of character she was. Army colonel's daughter, very sporty, played cricket for Rajasthan. So Deepa comes out and starts howling that my world, I mean, if I tell you today, Ishan walk, Abhijit walk, Boria walk, हम लोग चल जाएंगे. If I tell you, Ishan, this is your last walk, get ready to live the life of a paralyzed. If someone tells me I'll collapse.
Hmm.
Deepa had no other option for the next 7 days with two young kids. What she did was she got herself used to living the life of a paralyzed. So microwave mein khana garam karna, to get out of her clothes without using waist down, chest down, because it would all be paralyzed. It was unreal. She went back to the hospital 7 days later, and the doctor actually asked her, "What do you want to do? Is there anything that before you go into the operation theater you want to tell me?" She said, "Can I walk?" The doctor didn't understand. The doctor said, "What?" She said, "No, because this is the last time in my life that I will walk. So can I actually walk into the operation theater?" The doctor didn't know what to say. Then she said, "One more thing. My husband Bikram Malik is actually in Kargil fighting. Is there any way you guys can get me to speak to him?" These are not the days of the same tech, right? 1999 was not same technology. So they got her on one of those phones, and all she said was, they are saying I might not live over. They are saying that I might not be able to walk over. Are you there, Bikram? Over. And she tells me that maybe after 30 seconds, 45 seconds, she could hear someone saying from the other side, "I'm there, over. Don't give up on me ever. If you don't live, I will carry you in my arms for the rest of my life, over." What do you say? What do you say? A 23-hour long operation, 183 stitches, 41 days in coma. 15, 16 years later, that same woman goes to Rio, throws 4.61 and wins a silver medal.
Wow.
What do you say? You don't support them. Who do you support?
Thank you, Borada. An absolute source of inspiration, and this is why you can't ever get tired of Borada's stories as well. Just such a great storyteller, and amazing stories which can inspire so many people.
Yeah.
Abhijit, we've completed almost 40 minutes. I think we've covered a lot of topics. Why don't you just give us our final thoughts and what we can expect from this Paralympics?
No, I think, as I said, 25 is far for me from the Indian athletes. But you know what? All of us were there at the Olympics, and to be honest, I wasn't happy with the organizing team that has arranged the Olympics. It wasn't the best standards. I just hope at the Paralympics things will be more better, much more organized, because Paralympics is going to be tougher. It's going to be. I think there should be proper ramp, and then all the things you have. It should be a good organized Olympics. That's what I'm expectation. We made the news and we broke it like athletes were struggling for the food in the village, and there were so many kiosks, and then the volunteers wasn't there at stations and everywhere. I hope that's not the case at Paralympics. And I'll tell you what, the stadiums will be houseful because in Europe, I've seen, they are crazy for sports. So at Paralympics, the stadiums will be full, but even not only for the athletes, even for the fans and all others who want to see Paralympics, I think they are, they get well organized things because I have seen during Olympics there were so many things that's went wrong. I just hope it's not that bad as the Olympics were.
Thank you, Abhijit. Thank you, Boria. On that note, we'll end the show. A lot more content coming your way. The Paralympics will start in a couple of weeks, so our team over there will provide you with all the content. The team back home will be working hard to provide you with all the content. So stay tuned to Red Sports. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you all again tomorrow morning. Take care and have a great rest of the day. Thank you.
Thank you.